Success goes back to the same old story no matter how much we want to avoid it. People got financially literate, invested early, and quote, millennials are frustrated. We followed the playbook but haven't seen the rewards. Housing is unaffordable, salaries are low, healthcare is a struggle, and student debt looms large. A lot to unpack here, so first of all, totally understand how millennials feel. However, it's not all millennials. It's millennials who got financially literate are doing perfectly fine. Everyone else is suffering. So that's similar to every generation before millennials. Gen X, boomers, those who spent the time to understand money, quote, millennials are now wealthier than previous generations were at their age. They can't believe it either. Quote, millennials are getting richer faster than previous generations. Here's how they're doing it. It's not going to be a surprise. It's going to be the same thing like previous generations. It's going to be stocks and real estate. Unless you are a superstar entrepreneur, it's going to be difficult to dig yourself out of poverty unless you learn how to invest. The advantage millennials had were that throughout their entire adult life, stocks and real estate have only gone up. Quote, 15 years ago, Andy was a college graduate living with his parents, mowing lawns, digging ditches for extra income. Quote, 15 years ago, Andy Holmes was a college graduate living with his parents, mowing lawns, digging ditches for extra income. He and his college pals, who could only get low-paid jobs, wondered if they would have a shot at the success their parents had. Holmes put a chunk of money into the stock market, which later yielded a gain in the high five figures. The windfall, combined with a lucrative job switch, made it easier for his wife, Megan, to quit her job. She now looks after 2 young kids full-time. Success is always going to look similar. They all invested early as soon as they could, and now they're fine. Housing is unaffordable, salaries are low. So that's a general comment, and everyone seems to believe that a primary residence is correlated with salary, which it is not. A primary residence is a consumer product. It is consumption. So who can consume the most? Those with the most wealth. The fact that a home is 2, 10, 20 times median household income is irrelevant. That is a made-up relationship used to sell clicks and views. You don't break the 20 and 3 rule for buying a home. 20% down, pay no more than 3 times gross annual household income. That doesn't tell you there's a relationship. It just tells you what you can afford. If that rule is broken, it means on your salary, you cannot afford it, so go look somewhere else. Either go somewhere where you can afford to buy a home. For example, this millennial, 30-year-old making $95,000, buying a $250,000 home. And if you can't afford to buy, which many can't, then you have to rent and with roommates. Healthcare is a struggle. I think that hasn't changed in decades in America. Student debt looms large. You never go into debt for college unless you have a specific plan to pay off that debt between 2 to 4 years after graduating on a minimum wage salary. Whatever minimum wage is in your area, multiply that by a full-time job for 2 to 4 years. That is the most amount of debt you should be able to take. Quote, we were promised comfort by now. Again, promised by who? Are we talking about people who sold their life for a salary? Are those the people who promised that to you? Because they weren't living that life, so I don't know what that promise would be worth. Success goes back to the same old story no matter how much we want to avoid it. People got financially literate, invested early, and now they're fine. Yes, even millennials. These two graduated during the credit crisis. Quote, the couple started scooping up rental properties in 2013 when prices were low around the time the city of Detroit filed for bankruptcy. Good news is that the playbook is the same, and now with the stock market down, you get lower prices, so it's even better. So it's really up to you. Do you want to spend the time, money, and effort to get financially literate or not? Learn the lessons about money that your parents and teachers should have taught you. Download my free newsletter linked off the bio. Good luck. Take care.